Get that style check, put it in pockets till I get back.
What's up, guys? Jargent here. Today got a Pokemon Showdown replay in the OU tier. Now, I'm using the team that I used in my recent Showdown session because I wanted to use it a bit afterwards. I wanted to continue to try out Diancie because I really do like its sprite. I think it looks really cool. So I wanted to use it, and so I was using the same team. And I ended up getting this game, which was pretty decent, and I think there was a couple of good points in it, so may as well upload it. My opponent is Fakemcfakerson, and he's got a really interesting, very shiny looking team. I do like his team. It's very difficult to take down, and he also has that Raikou, which can hit my Charizard, Azumarill, Landorus, potentially Bishop, and Latios for super effective damage. So that's probably going to be the biggest threat, and also Greninja, because I literally have nothing to take on a Greninja on this team, except for maybe Bishop can take one hit potentially, and then Azumarill, if he doesn't have a grass type attack, can take some hits because I'm Assault Vest. So they're the main threats. Aegislash shouldn't be a big problem. I can take that on with Bishop and Landorus, and then his Landorus can be tackled by my Latios with powerful Draco Meteor. My Azumarill can hit it hard with a super effective Waterfall, and my Charizard can hit it with a sun boosted Fire Blast. So we'll have to see how we do. Chestnut going to be a problem as well if Latios or Charizard goes down. So let's get into the game and see how it goes. So I'm going to lead off with my Landorus as Fakemcfakerson leads off with his Landorus. He's going to go and set up his Rock, because I'm just going to go for that knockoff or Toxic, maybe Toxic. And I'll go for the knockoff. I'll get rid of its leftovers. I kind of wanted to scout what type of Landorus he was. His Intimidate did go first, so that did lead me to Vehicle Scarf first, but then I knocked off the leftovers as he went for Rocks, as I do get the task off on that Landorus, which is nice. It'll be good to wear that thing down. This team actually does quite well with Toxic Storm, because I do have Protect on my Diancie. As the Greninja does come in, I am forced out, so I'm going to go into my Azumarill expecting the Ice Beam, but he ends up going for the U-turn, making a good play, and then he can switch out into his Raikou. My only real switch into this is my Diancie, so I'm going to go right into it as he goes for the Volt Switch. As you can see by my opponent's team, he's very much using Volt Switch to his advantage, and U-turn, Greninja, Raikou, and Landorus all going for it, and all getting all the momentum in the world, which has really put me on the back foot at the start of the game. As the Aegislash comes in, I'm going to have to go into my Landorus to take any sort of hit, even if he does go for the Shadow Ball is my best option, as he ends up going for the Sub, which reveals to me that he's a Sub-Toxic set, which makes it a little less threatening to my team, as he ends up going for the Shadow Ball. I could obviously just switch out into a Bishop, but I'm not about that life, yo. So I'm just going to go for the Earthquake, and then on the following turn, as he brings in the Chestnut, I am going to go for another one, because too risky, cannot afford to leave that Aegislash behind the Sub, because it would be very annoying to deal with, as I'm just going to go for the Toxic on this Chestnut as he Leech Seeds me, which isn't a problem because I can U-turn out, but I'm not going to, because if he goes for the Spiky Shield, that'll be really horrible for my Landorus, and I kind of want to keep this around for Intimidate on his Tyranitar, on his Landorus, so going to keep it around as I bring in my Latios. My priority number one is going for the defog, because I want my Charizard to be able to switch in freely. So I'm going to do that as he brings out the Raikou, which is proving to be the biggest problem to my team, because even if I do switch out into my Diancie, he just Volt Switch. Now I'm expecting him to be choiced, so I go into my Landorus expecting the Volt Switch. He ends up making a good play, going for the Shadow Ball. It's kind of like a middle ground. If I wanted to switch out into Diancie, I can still hit it. He can still hit it, and if I go into Landorus, he can still hit it, and he hits Latios super effectively. So it was a win-win situation. But then he reveals to me, once he takes up my Landorus, that he's probably more an expert battle set. So that was very interesting, as Chestnut comes in. Now I don't want to get Leech Seeded, don't want to get Hammer Arm, so I'm going to bring in my Charizard Y. And here is it's a somewhat interesting play. I know he's going to switch out into his Tyranitar, but as you'll see, I choose not to Mega Evolve, and I'll pause to explain why. When the Chestnut was in, he could either Spiky Shield to get some residual damage on the go with the Leech Seed, and take the Fire Blast as I Mega Evolve, and then he can bring in his T-Tar, set up the Sand, he'll get a special defense boost, and then he'll be able to take a Fire Blast really well, get his Leech Seed recovery, and he can probably live a Focus Blast. So I don't Mega Evolve this turn on the off chance that he Spiky Shields, and now on the following turn, after I hit this Fire Blast, I do get a burn unfortunately, I'll be able to Mega Evolve, and then the sun will be up. So that was my game plan here. as I do get the burn on the Fire Blast, and on this turn I am going to Mega Evolve to Charizard Y to get the Sun up, but then you'll see that he Mega Evolves as well into Mega Tyranitar, and luckily I hit my Focus Blast and knock him out. I was really lucky because his Mega Tire was probably offensively based, so he wouldn't have HP investment, so my Focus Blast definitely killed. If he was max HP, max special defense like I thought he was going to be, then getting the sand away would have been disastrous. But I'm going to go into my Diancie here as the Landorus comes. No, the Volt Switch happened with the Raikou, then I brought in my Diancie, and then he brought in his Landorus. I'm forced to switch out. I'm going to go to my Zard, expecting the rocks to come in, because that gives me a free switch, because as you can see, now that his Tyranitar is gone, he has nothing on his team that really appreciates a Fire Blast. So I'm going to go for that, and do a hell of a lot to Raikou. That took it really well, actually. Kind of thinking that it might be a Assault Vest. So, woo! But Diancie comes in now, and taking the hits like a champ. As you can see, Diancie has done the equivalent of 0 things this game. I don't think it's gone for an attack. It's just come in, taken Volt Switch, and then leaves the field. It's super pointless in this battle. It hasn't done anything. And you'll see later on that it continues to do nothing, as the Aegislash sets up a sub, poisons my Azumarill, but I am able to go for the knockoff. And then I make I think it's a decent play. I switch out into my Bishop expecting the King Shield. This gives me a free switch into it, so now I can knock out this Aegislash, because even if he does go for the King Shield, Defiant Boost will negate the King Shield effects, and I just knock out Aegislash, which actually gives me so much momentum, because now you'll look at his team and think, what can take a Draco Meteor from Latios? What can take a Psyshock from Latios? What can take a Hidden Power Fighting from Latios? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that, and I'm thinking the same thing too. As my Diancie comes in on U-turns and such, and continues to do nothing. I was kind of death following it at that point. Diancie, I'm 100% sure that he didn't make a single attack that game. So, well done. As he brings out the Greninja, and I could have lost the game here because of the damage on my team. But Azumarill pulled through because he did not have grass type attack, and because of my Assault Vest I'm able to live the extra century, meaning now Latios has got so much leeway, as I'm actually going to choose to save my Azumarill, because I can bring in my Latios for free and get a defog here on the expected spiky shield. Honestly, I could have just gone for the attacks right now, but I decided to go for the defog because I wanted to get rid of those Stealth Rocks so my Charizard could freely switch in, and also if he didn't go for the spikes there, could have brought in a Azumarill for as well. So on this turn I am going to go for the Psyshock. I am able to knock out that Chestnut, and his final two are Raikou and Landorus. I can live a Shadow Ball coming from a Raikou, especially if it's a Assault Vest variant, and go for the Psyshock, knock him out on 4% HP. I do outspeed that Landorus because it is a defensive variant, and I can just drop a Draco on the man. Oh yeah! So Latios coming through the late game sweep, and that seals up a narrow 3-0 victory in my favour because the Latios does go down. So I thought it was a pretty decent game, to be honest. Unfortunately, Diancie didn't do any work because his team just stopped it. Chestnut resisted its stab, well, because I don't have Fairy Stab. Raikou does a lot of damage to it, and it was just Volt switching out. Greninja can hit me real hard with the Hydro Pump. Landorus hits me super effective with the Ground type stab. Tyranitar can hit me with the Earthquake if it has it, and it resists my Diamond Storm, and then Aegislash hard walls me. So I had real no chance to use the answer that game, but my other 5 monsters pulled through. I think Bishop did quite a bit of work. Azumarill was clutch, and Charizard really pressured his team a bit. So if you enjoyed this battle, leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe. I've been John Origins, and I'm out. So peace.